Okay, so with this Clint Capela trade, there is a very common opinion that's going around throughout the NBA world, and that is the Rockets lost this trade. Why would the Rockets give up Clint Capela? Why would the Rockets give up an elite center for an average wing? And when I saw this insane 14 deal, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, why would the Rockets trade their only big man for Robert Covington? And then I realized who Robert Covington really was as a player and how there is a secret meaning behind this Clint Capela trade and how Robert Covington is literally the most perfect system fit for this Rockets team. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Luke, and today, as you can see by the title, we will be going over the crazy Clint Capela trade. I know it's late. My phone completely broke, so I didn't have Bleacher Report to back me up on when the Clint Capela trade happened. I found out like an hour later on ESPN when I was watching TV, so it was a little too late for me to make a video right away. So here I am right now making a video a day later. But you know, that's okay. But look, let's just get into the Rockets situation. I don't need to run on anymore. There's really only two big cons, and they both kind of fit into one if you think about it this way. So look, the first con I have is that their pick and roll with Harden or Westbrook and Capela won't be as deadly anymore because they lost their elite center in Clint Capela. As you know, the Rockets run a lot of pick and rolls, and that's one of their things. And that's one of their go-tos. Besides chucking up threes 79 times a game, they tend to run pick and rolls and get that alley-oop action going with Clint Capela. So that's going to be taken away. And also, their rebounding will take a little hit, knowing that Clint Capela is averaging 14 rebounds per game. So their size, their rebounding, their pick and roll action will be taken away. But you know, they still have guys like PJ Tucker and Tyson Chandler, who are premier rebounders and premier defenders. Well, I get. Those are guys who could get the job done on the boards. I can guarantee that to you. But look, this is why Robert Covington is literally the perfect fit for this team. And this is why Daryl Morey is a genius for this trade. Because now that I think about it, this trade is perfect for the Houston Rockets. So let's check off some boxes. Let's start off with the defensive side. Robert Covington, elite defender, check. One of the most skilled defenders in this league, in my opinion. One of the best 3-and-D players in the league. So defense, check. 3-point shooting, check. Robert Covington is a very consistent, really knockdown 3-point shooter. And as we know, the Rockets shoot the most threes in the league by a crazy amount, like the size of freaking Mount Everest. They shoot the most insane amount of 3-pointers a game. So Robert Covington fitting into that role, check. Robert Covington's rebound ability for his size is truly amazing. So his rebounding is definitely a check because he can get the job done for his size. His ability to create his own shot, also a check because we've seen Robert Covington do those types of things in the past. He may not be an elite shot maker and shot creator, but he could definitely do it. If Westbrook kicks it out to Robert Covington, he can pump fake, he can drive, he can easily facilitate or make that bucket. He has the skill set, he has the confidence, he is a great NBA player, and he's very prepared for that type of role. And then there's always the ability to stretch the floor. Big fat check. Robert Covington could play 1 through 4, maybe 1 through 5. You can easily put Robert Covington at center. I bet you he can get the job done with his aggressiveness, his skill on the defensive end, and how good he is at boxing out and getting rebounds. You could definitely put Robert Covington at the 5. But he is every little thing the Rockets need, like molded into one player. So a lot of people just look at Robert Covington and they look at Clint Capela and they're like, oh my god, Clint Capela is way more better. Huh? Or he's way better than Robert Covington. So they're like, oh, the Hawks easily won. Robert Covington is everything the Rockets need. He's like a way more skilled PJ Tucker, an amazing hustler, crazy defender, really good at boxing out, really aggressive for his size. But he can also shoot 3 and he can also create his own shot. And he's also an amazing system fit. And as we know, the Rockets have one of the most profound systems in the league. Their system is set apart from almost every other system in the league, besides like the Spurs, because we all know they have their Popovich system with their pass and cut and their just traditional style of play. But the Rockets are far from that, and Robert Covington fits into any NBA system, and he will fit very well into this one because this is a three-point shooting system, and Robert Covington is all of that. He's a good three-point shooter. He can knock down the three if he wants to. And guess who can do that? Clint Capela. And I bet you they will put Robert Covington at the 4 or 5 a lot this season. They could still run a nice little pick and pop, pick and roll with him, and it won't be that much of a downgrade from Clint Capela. What Daryl Morey did is he really looked into the depths. He really looked into what I looked into today to decide if this trade made sense for their team or not. And I bet you he ultimately decided that this trade made sense for their team from looking at the perspective I'm looking at right now. Because Clint Capela is nice and all, but with the Rocket system, they don't need an elite big man to strive. The main thing that the Rockets were using Clint Capela for is his premier rebounding and his sheer size. He's not an elite defender. He's a good defender and he's a good shot blocker, but he's never been elite at any of that. He does average 1.8 blocks per game, but still, he's never been known to be a shot blocker like an Andre Drummond or a Serge Ibaka. So his shot blocking and rebounding are really the two only things that the Rockets are going to miss, but those can be replaced. Maybe not as high as a level as Clint Capela is, because as we know, he's an elite center in this league, but they could definitely be replaced. And right now, if the Rockets need anything, they need defense, and that's what Robert Covington is. He's a pure premier defender, because as we know, James Harden is not an elite defender, and Russell Westbrook, he's a good defender, but he's not an elite defender. But he is, I'm going to say this, he's very active on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he's a good defender, and I think he's an above average defender. But what they need is that premier wing defender. Someone next to PJ Tucker who can get the job done, and that is exactly Robert Covington. So in conclusion, Robert Covington is literally every little thing on the NBA court, on the basketball court, that a team needs molded into one player. The Rockets can't have 97-year-old PJ Tucker playing 35 minutes a game anymore. Robert Covington comes into that role, takes over that role, and he could be the pure defender next to PJ Tucker. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for this video. I feel like a lot of people weren't really looking into the deeper meaning behind Robert Covington's trade and behind what Robert Covington could do on the basketball court. People weren't really looking at the skill set. They were just judging the book by its cover. Robert Covington, Clint Capela. They look at the two names, they're like, oh, they lost Clint Capela. But in reality, Robert Covington means so much more than what people are saying. I am recording this on Wednesday, February 5th. So I hope that on Thursday some more trades go down, and I bet they will. So with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned.